yo, hey, son, hey, yo, son, and daughters. Welcome back to another episode of the InforMILLy Honest Podcast. Four brothers coming together to talk about this thing called life. And no matter where the conversation goes, we always got to keep it forthright, vulnerable, and most of all, say it with me. Honest. Graphic comes across here. Oh man, one of these days we're gonna have like all the guests just say honest and then like make a mega reel.
That'd be dope. Yeah.
But yo, fellas, how y'all feeling this week?
Good, pretty good. Not too bad.
Yeah, I'm good. Spectacular. Feeling rather grounded in the cut. You know, I'm out here.
Cool.
Grounded.
He said bare feet.
Bare feet grounded with the earth.
Yeah. I'm fuckwittable, yeah.
Oh man. It's been a rough week for me, to be completely honest.
That sucks.
I mean, it's life.
Next time I'm gonna say something a little more I'm not gonna say something as nice. I'm gonna say something like less pleasant about my experience. Yeah,
like I'm in better spirits because every day has gotten a little better, but it started out pretty rough. Just work is kicking my ass, and so yeah, just figuring out what all that is, man. And you know, these old rickety bones is changing, man. This nearly 34-year-old body ain't twirling like it used to, and so. These days, it feels like I work 3 times as hard to make half the amount of progress. And so just figuring all of that out.
The Black experience.
You said what?
The Black experience.
I was about to say take your supplements, but then like that's not the cure. Like
no. The supplements is the only reason why I can stay engaged.
Adam took it a little bit farther. The supplements won't work.
I mean,
he just got straight to the point. Yeah, nitty gritty. Yeah. I
mean, I am taking what is it? Nootropics now. Trying to see if they can help me, you know, with focus and engagement.
Some type of Adderall.
Which ones are you taking though? Like the one. There's one like on it, which is pretty popular.
So on it is Alpha Brain.
Yeah.
I tried this other one just to go against the grain because I'm like, I ain't getting this shit just because I heard Pete Holmes and Joe Rogan endorse it. What else is out there? And
Sounds like Josh. All right, you're still you.
Yeah, you know. So yeah, one is called LifeMind Pro, and the other one is I'm sure I'm gonna pronounce this wrong. Redalia, something like that.
The first, I felt like I've heard the first. The way you pronounced it sounds familiar.
Redalia.
Yeah, maybe that's it. I could be very wrong, but I feel like I've heard that before.
Yeah,
it sounds like a fancy Ritalin. No, but how long you have you been taking?
So far it's only been maybe 3-4 weeks.
What's your review?
So far, I personally, I'll say on the only times I really feel particularly like my body ain't responding to what the fuck I want to do is the one time in this 3-4 weeks that I didn't take it.
No.
So you're taking it you're taking it enough to actually be able to see a difference then.
Yeah, I take 2. I take 2 of each every morning.
Got you. Because I usually give things like a couple months experiment to really be able to say, okay, I've taken it long enough to, you know, to be able to decipher whether or not.
And that's the thing. I don't really know that it's making that much of a difference. They because of the way the pharmaceutical system works, ain't gonna be no other proof besides what I think I feel. So it could be a fucking whatchamacallit effect. Placebo effect.
Yeah.
That's such a cool word.
It is. It is, man.
Every time I get a chance to say it, I do.
And so I mean, so far I'll say that, like, you know, I can't necessarily say it makes me feel more focused, but through sheer determination, I'm being focused. And the depression ain't hitting as hard as it normally does. And so,
well, I guess you're right. It's kind of hard to tell unless you don't take it for a couple of days, and then you can maybe see a significant difference or something. Yeah.
And so I highly doubt that one day was because I didn't take it, but that was just probably a unjustified correlation.
Or fair enough. Yeah, I got you.
So yeah. Otherwise, I'm generally good, you know. And so let's hop into the subject for the day. The Prime Minister of patronizing bullshit, Alex Jones, is, how should I say? I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna read the headline as is so I can fully say it as it is. Jury in the Alex Jones case from the victims of Sandy Hook in the defamation trial. He has just been charged with $965 million. That is nearly
6 families or something like that.
I didn't see how many.
Something like that.
Yeah, but that is Sandy Hook happened in what, 2012?
I think so. Yeah. Or 11. Yeah.
I thought I was.
So in this 9 years, or 10 years rather, counting, in this 10 years, Alex Jones has, of course, become famous for, you know, all the rhetoric of them being crisis actors and it not really happening, making it seem like a conspiracy, like all these people didn't lose children, loved ones, etc. And now he is being charged with nearly a whole Blue Ranger of ducats.
Family's gonna be good. I mean, financially, they're still dealing with the, you know, tragic losses.
They're gonna be able to,
I mean, he don't have that much money, so
I was about to say, like, I mean, I don't know where the money's coming from, but I don't know where they're going, you know.
I think it's just a principle thing. It's like, you know, families don't even
shut them up.
Money. It's like,
they're gonna get something, but they're not gonna get that money.
He's loaded.
He got millions, but
he ain't got a bill.
For sure.
Jerry Jones.
Yeah. I don't even know I don't even know if he got 100 mil. So
damn, they're gonna be working for them now. Like,
what did Kanye say? He said you gotta roll up your sleeves. You gotta do some dishes and shit, bro. You can't afford it. You gotta roll up your sleeves, man.
Hold on, I want to look up his.
He's gonna be the pool guy, man.
So yeah, his I want to find out what his net worth is. Estimated net worth is around 135 to. Oh, never mind.
So they're showing before and after the trial.
Variety had it as because it's like broke for the rest of his life after Sandy Hook. It said it was between 135 and 270 million. And now the new celebrity net worth after 4 hours ago is like his net worth is negative 900 million.
Wait, the fact that he was worth that much prior is absolutely crazy. Like,
yeah, man.
Doing what?
Well, I mean, because the whole thing was he prior to him being banned from all social media, like he was making so much money doing that bullshit show and selling all that bullshit products.
Of course, but I still thought like, okay, maybe 10 million at the absolute most, but that, I mean, that's like,
and I'm sure his contract was getting money. Yeah, his contract was probably getting raised every year, every few years. You know, he was crazy. The more successful he was, I'm sure they were Fox or whatever he was doing is raising his contract and shit.
I don't think he worked for Fox though. Like InfoWars was his whole his brand and everything.
Okay. Well,
so,
okay. Well, if he owns it, then that makes more sense that he's worth that with him being like somewhat of a network of his own. Yeah.
And plus, he was on YouTube for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I know he's well off, but I mean, 100, 200 million, that's a lot.
He probably got some investments too. I mean, if he's smart, he got some investments and shit, real estate and shit. Yeah.
well, that motherfucker ain't got that shit no more.
Yeah, you about to be begging for a room in one of them condo buildings and shit he owns for real.
Yo, negative 900 mil is crazy.
Yeah, man.
He on the reverse Forbes. The reverse Forbes.
yeah, that's hilarious, bro. That motherfucker gonna be in them. He's gonna be in the Black Friday line shopping for shit. For real, bro. Damn.
Yo, if he actually recovers from this shit to accrue some kind of wealth, then I'm sorry, white people have got it made. There's no excuse for anybody anymore.
That's the thing too. Like, I really think, like, how the fuck did they even let it get this much? Like, I think, like, Adam's got to be right. Like, they were just trying to prove a point. Like, they know.
What do you mean?
Very few people can afford $1 billion. Like, they know he don't have the fucking money. It's just the principle of, like, shut the fuck up.
I mean, it's a thing of, like,
they know he doesn't have it.
Right. It's the same as when somebody gets sentenced to like 300 years in prison. You're like, okay, clearly, you don't have that much. You're not going to live that long.
At this point, we're just going with emotions and trying to like follow the procedure. You're just like tacking on the shit because that's the process.
Right.
You know?
But I mean, in case you live this long.
Bro. I want some chance. Yeah, I want your fucking spirit to feel these last 100 years. It's like shit.
Maybe science will advance or something.
No. In case you get bit by a radioactive spider, motherfucker, we want to make sure your ass is still in jail.
That actually makes me think. There's a story not too long ago where this guy died in prison. But he was like, you know, how people die and come back to life, like they're pronounced dead legally.
Oh, yeah.
And then he was like, I served my sentence. I served my, he was.
Because if you get life, that's it.
He literally was trying to like,
bro. That's fucking genius.
Based on that.
That was like, no. I'll risk it. Let's go. Let's go.
I mean, that would be like that'd be a genius move.
Yeah.
There's like those things that they're like, stop my heart for 5 seconds and then bring me back.
Yeah. He was like, literally, I'm a changed man. Let me out this motherfucker.
Everybody in jail would be trying to like choke each other out. Just to see
For real.
Choke me out.
Man, hold longer, man. Longer. Come on. I don't give a fuck about no asphyxiation, man. Come on. My gosh, man.
So I guess
I think our jokes ran out finally.
I was like, okay, let's find a segue. Do you think that this is enough punishment?
I mean, I guess so. I mean, I know it's like, he owes the money, but I still think he's gonna be okay for some reason. Like, he's not, he's still to be fine. I don't know why I believe that, but
I don't blame you for thinking it though.
Because I mean, obviously he's not going to be homeless. He's not going to just be on the street because he's supposedly worth negative, whatever. Like he's, I just don't see that happening. I mean, I don't know a perfect example, like the Johnny Depp,
Amber Heard.
Yeah, so he sued her for $50 million. At the time, she's only worth $8 million. So he knew he wasn't going to get the money, but it's more so like and I'm sure she's not living in a homeless shelter right now. So
did he get all $50 million in the verdict? I know he won that trial. But
nah, I think he got her for like 15 and she got him for like less than 10 or it was something like that.
So they settled off for 5.
Yes. No. Well, like they both were awarded different amounts, but they were still in the millions. His was like 15 and 15 is over her original net worth anyway.
Right.
So,
and let's be clear, and I could be wrong about this. I don't really know, but net worth doesn't really mean
absolutely
that you have that amount of money.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, and a lot of times,
less, actually,
a lot of times, folks are wrong. It's actually they have more.
Yeah,
that's what I was about to say.
Because it's assets and property and all of that. Go ahead, Marco. My bad.
Some people were just saying like Alex Jones may have much more than what we think he has, just because property. I'm sure they factor that in, but it's ways of hiding. It's ways of hiding.
Oh, for sure. I feel like if he's smart, like different people have spoken out and like kind of given hints, like in interviews about their net worth and saying like either one, they're not like it's always going to be lower than what it really is. And two, a lot of their net worth is tied up in businesses. So whenever they get sued, because we are in a sue happy country for sure, you can't sue them directly. So you're not touching any of their assets. And then they allow the business to pay them a certain amount, usually a meager salary compared to what they're actually worth, just so they can touch. So whatever they take from them is less than, what's actually out there. So if it's, it's smart, I guess. But I think Marco is right. Like I would doubt that they're willing to put all their eggs in that one basket like that,
Of course.
Especially as a celebrity, especially like somebody like him who's controversial. He has been sued before, just under the radar many of times, I'm sure, for shit that he said. I'm sure he would have learned by now. I hope.
Yeah, he straight up lied. He made up this stuff. Like he was like saying that these were higher actors, and
right.
He had a lot of people going at one point, or he had me curious too. Because I mean, if you just straight up lying and saying like, "Hey, here," he was breaking it down in his way, but I honestly think some of the stuff he used to say is true, but this like kind of discredits everything he says almost. But I just feel like the number amount for what they gave him is like an imaginary thing. Like they should have just gave him
number.
an actual number, and then like made him do like community service in Sandy Hook or something like that. Something actually
that'd be crazy.
Something actually where it'll hit him. Like, why make up a punishment that you can't even do? Like,
no, that's a good point actually. Like its net worth was like what was it now? Like on average.
I mean, like, what is it now? The negative number?
No, the before.
Like 135 to 2 something.
Oh, okay. So we know he doesn't have $135 million in his bank account, but like you could be like, okay, well, you owe these families $70 million and figure it out. And he literally would have to fork over $70 million, and there wouldn't be no fake, just for optics. Like he's literally losing $70 million, which that would hurt if that's literally half of your net worth, So
true.
What's that 21 Savage song? How many M's he had in his bank account? He definitely didn't have that much. 1, 2, 3, 4. You gotta count a long time to have that bitch.
Yeah, personally, I don't. I never really particularly care for Alex Jones. I'm not a big. I can dig some conspiracies, but I never really put that much weight into him. And as charismatic of a guy as he is, it's something about people yelling at me about mole people and shit like that. Then I gotta go. Okay, I'm out. I can't do this. And it doesn't even mean that I don't believe it's true. I just can't. I have enough things to worry about than worrying about like subterranean people near the core of the earth. And if you I don't know, excuse me, if you drink a frog's ass juice, it's gonna give you the fountain of youth. Like I don't like all like the complete absurdities of shit that he would just say.
I'm not sure he ever said that, but I know a lot of his stuff like became very political as well. And it's like at that point we know you just a mouth to say whatever people want you to say now, like
a talking head.
And people, I think a lot of people, most people probably was tuning in to him for entertainment at a certain point anyway. It's not like I don't think that they took everything serious that he said, but back then, it seemed like he was very serious and on like topical incidents and just had to say the opposite of whatever Like, no, those it's not real. Like, he got hyped up on 9/11 so much that he had to say everything wasn't real.
I mean, can we tell me if you disagree with this statement? Alex Jones is white Umar Johnson.
Funny. I think Umar is more credible, but go ahead, Adam.
Completely disagree with that statement, but
I'm not saying that he's incredibly is, but
I think Alex Jones is more extreme. I think Alex is a little bit more
talking about fucking white women.
every meme that I see that they use him is funny though. It's like
it's I could like he's objectively hilarious. I've never seen anyone who just as an internet presence is not trying to be funny.
Yeah.
And it's so fucking hilarious.
He is.
There's whole Twitter pages just about like clips of Umar Johnson.
He remind me of like that teacher that take himself so serious, but just say and does goofy stuff. Like you have to just laugh at him.
It makes me think of Beezy. I mean, he wasn't a teacher, but the security guard, Mr. Beezy.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, where like, he wasn't trying to be funny, but we just found him to be hilarious. It's like just his presence was just funny. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, man. It's just the like Alex Jones. It's just the part of it is the yelling, man.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I get passionate. I appreciate someone who gets passionate, but like that motherfucker takes it to a different level, I think, man. I don't know if he I don't know if he popped something beforehand or whatever to get turned like that. But
probably cocaine. Yeah. He's funny to me. Like I remember I watched he's been on Joe Rogan's show a bunch of times, but I forgot which one I watched. It was like the long, like 3-4 hour one. And I watched the whole thing. I don't think I watched it straight, but it was just funny, man. He's a true character, a legit.
He entertained.
A legit character.
And I think even if something that he said, even if there was a level of truth in a statement that he made, it's hard. It's the antics and the entertainment may take away from that, or probably not may. They probably very well do take away from that.
I completely agree with that because he is, and I agree with Marcus. Like he said a lot of things that I actually like kind of agree with, but then the very next statement is like, it's like, see, now you just messed it up.
The very next statement is like, it's sipping ass juice from frogs. That's the very next statement. I'm like, dang. Which honestly, that shit, like, this is probably gonna make me seem like a fool. Like I'm used to people telling me like lately, like, yo, we can't tell when you're joking. And I'm like, damn, I wonder if I sound like a fan of Alex Jones, or I say something serious and the very next thing is something absolutely ridiculous. Like shit. I just called myself out. But as far as this, just getting back to the topic, like it's $1 billion that we know he doesn't have. That's $800 million more than we know is his whole, or like at some point the judge and them were just like, fuck it, just keep tacking it on. We got to get through the process. It's just like being at a 9 to 5. I'm just carrying on with the legal process until it's over.
It's 10 years of defamation in multiple families. I can get how the math would equal that much.
Yeah. But I'm wondering how much is each? It would suck if all of them got like 7,500 or something. You know,
damn, that really would
suck. You know, it happens though. It happens so often. Where, like somebody will like, because I mean, I got sued for $300,000+ that obviously I didn't have, and I even told him like, yo, this, you know, I'm your opponent. Yo, I'm the ops, and I'm telling you, I don't have this, yo. You're hearing it right from the horse's mouth, man. It's not gonna work. Yo, my lawyers are free. We can do this as long as you want. My lawyers are free. We can do this as long as you want, yo. I'm telling you, this could go on forever, yo. You know, I think they ended up getting like 10,000 or something crazy small. So like this happens all the time where people get way, but that's part of why they go for so much, because they're more likely to get, I guess, a higher number, but
they'll still get more of whatever it is. And I know it's not all because of like purely the shit he said, but it's what it incited. Because apparently those families, ever since for this whole 10 years, not only are they grieving their lost ones, but they've been getting death threats by these fucking assholes who are
that's crazy. Damn, yeah,
and whatnot. That, you know, they're being told that, you know, what they experienced was a lie. Like they not holding, you know, the urn of their dead child. Like, so going through all of that kind of shit, I'm like, yo, get the motherfuckers all the money.
Yeah, you know what I heard? I heard that some people even had crazy, like maniacs on their property with guns.
Oh yeah, they
were pissed.
Yo, stalks, find out where they live, all that kind of stuff.
Can we arrest every one of those people harassing? Like, at one point, yes, Allie Jones is responsible for his part, but at one point, can we like grab some of these idiots by the collar? You know, like, yo, you doing? Yeah, I always think of that T.I. line. I'll grab the motherfucker by the collar quick. I always think of that T.I. line. Always.
I don't know why this.
Snatch y'all little rascals.
Grab you by that earlobe,
motherfucker. What are you doing? Stop what you're doing right now.
Hey, y'all got to go. That teacher is that teacher. Oh my God. Forever burned in my memory.
Think about what you like
did. At some point, I mean, how much of people's own idiocy can he be blamed for? Any public figure who incites something? At what point are they no longer responsible, man? These are grown ass people doing shit like that. You're an idiot if you choose to do that. And some of that is on you, man.
Here's January 6th.
It is a January 6th.
Idiots. Yeah, they grown idiots.
Yeah.
But I guess it's a thing of, like, let's say we're going to commit arson. Right?
And they're done that.
Allegedly.
So if I got a flamethrower and I give all of y'all a box of matches and a shot glass of gasoline, are you gonna be like, you know what? At what point are we just gonna only blame the person with the flamethrower? We got to get all these people with the matches too.
Yo, that's a very good analogy, and I agree with you. I want it to correlate perfectly with this, but I just in the age of things going viral and hysteria and antics that have been happening for at least the last decade to go viral, and people saying crazy and doing crazy things that, like, somebody's crazy, wild opinion while we don't like it. And I agree, that shit was crazy. Like, that's some shit you just don't play with. But it doesn't seem like he was even playing with it. He was actually serious.
He was probably.
So,
hey, but
here's the thing though, in the age of antics and shit, some of that is on them, man. I want them arrested, sued. I want them to help pay some of that fucking Billy back.
I'm not saying you're wrong in that. I think all of them should suffer. If you have nothing better to do, and I agree, it should be worse because you have nothing better to do than harass and send death threats to victims of a mass shooting.
Yeah. Who are you if you agree with Alex Jones or not? If you agree with him, agree behind a fucking computer in your own home. Who are you to fucking run up on somebody's lawn? How dare you? Shit is crazy, man. All right, I'm done. I'm calming down. I'm turning to Alex Jones over here. I'm calming down. My bad. This shit's just insane to me, man. The audacity.
We'll be back right after this message.
We're gonna let y'all get back to the episode in a second, but we want to take a second to shout out to the squirt goat herself. One of the all-stars of all time. We got to give credit where it's due. And wishing her all the best. That's Adriana Chechik. Adriana, I might have said that wrong. Adriana Chechik, who was severely injured in a lack of foam accident, if you will, where at a Twitch event, she got excited. She just won I think it was a foam sword battle. And she got excited. She did a toe touch off of her platform. And it turns out that there was not a profusion of foam under her as originally
profusion, an abundance or large quantity of something.
Assumed it was, and so she landed on her tailbone and broke her back in 2 places.
Ouch.
There was an illusion of a lot of it, and it just wasn't there. She ain't dead. Gotta protect his identity. I'm sure Twitch misses her greatly. I can only speak. I can only assume that OnlyFans most likely will also. She had a 5.5-hour surgery fusing parts of her spine together. And she gonna be in a back brace for a good while. So, are you trying to say adamantium?
It is.
All right, so that's enough of that. Adriana, we love you, girl. We hope you get better real soon. For real, yeah. Yeah, so all love to her and happy quick recovery, thorough recovery, and let's go. And back to the show.
But that just show you how easy it is, like it is to form those little groups. It's like there's a group called Justice Force or something like that. And it was like I don't know the whole story, but I saw a video of them like getting found in the back of
I'm glad you get it. Disclaimer, it's just funny.
The part that I saw is it was like a bunch of guys dressed like some type of military force, but they were in the back of a U-Haul and they were about to do something crazy.
About to do an inside job.
About
to go rob a storage facility or something.
I'm like, yo, the inside of a U-Haul is not a secure like riding.
Oh man, that's crazy.
No, it's not at all. Actually, like.
It was like an anti FBI group, or so it was like abolish the FBI, and
yeah, that's crazy, man.
They had like shields. They were gonna do a riot somewhere.
I'm gonna throw something
at y'all because how do you think this relates to the influence that musicians have on their audience? We know their influence, but are they responsible for motherfuckers going out and doing crazy shit the same way, people were going at M and Marilyn Manson during the Columbine shit, and hip hop artists, many other hip hop artists after that? It's similar. It's similar. It correlates.
I think you have random. I think like you have random one-off situations of people doing stuff, but I don't recall anybody lyrics saying like start a militia, and I don't know. I think people maybe people are thinking like this is a revolution type thing when they do that, but they actually don't have a good goal in mind. They just, hey, let's do a riot here. Like
Yeah. Well, hold on.
Well, you're not.
I should acknowledge that if that was part of Alex Jones's like comments, I didn't know that. I thought he was just giving his opinion on like really thinking that the shit wasn't true. I didn't know that he was saying, "Yo, go handle these people for making up all these lies and blah blah blah."
Not necessarily a call to action, but like not a physical call to action anyway. A lot of it used to be, you know, the government's trying to get over on you. You need to rise up against the tyrannical Democrats, yada yada yada, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Like passionate.
It's like it's like drawing a line in the sand. Like, oh, now they've crossed this line. Hey, we got to do something. Like,
very us versus
even
them.
though there's no facts behind it.
The issue with that type of energy is when your audience is, I'm not saying all of it, but we know what most of the audience consists of. I mean, there are a lot of right wing, a lot of libertarian people who I call diet Republican for the most part. But it's a lot of, I don't want to say radical people because that's not true, but
I would say they're easily manipulated.
Yeah, like people feel like the war's against them when it's really not. Like it makes me think of, there's this white guy I used to work with back when I was working at Bozak out in Maryville. He was like, man, I was trying to get into a union, but they wouldn't let me in because I was white. And I was like, huh? Like, and I was like, I've never heard that before. Like, yeah, because you know, I work in a construction company and all I see is white union guys. So I'm like, I don't get that one. Now we do know that some places do try to hire, you know, Black people try to hire, you know, and they do try to go out of their way because of equity, and they should.
Right.
But and that's probably where he was going. He was probably trying to be like, you know how people used to talk about like affirmative action, like, oh, you only got this job because, you know, but I think that's the energy he was going for, but without going there essentially. And I didn't say anything because I just wasn't in it. I just didn't feel like, you know, I can't battle everybody, but so I was like, oh, okay, sure. But there's a lot of people like that who think, there's a lot of white guys in this country that think there's an attack on white guys just because people are just trying to hold certain people accountable, and just, you know, we want equal things across the board, and they're taking that as an attack. So there's a lot of people like that follows Alex Jones. So it's like the perfect, and then he's empowering these people, you know, by saying whatever he's saying. And you know,
I guess I feel like it correlates pretty strongly to the certain music, like aspects of the music industry, and what keeps certain things going on. I mean, if it's a you versus me and an ops thing, then I mean, that's a lot of certain songs, certain types of music. That's a lot. And it's hard to say that it doesn't. It's hard for me to say that it doesn't correlate. And I'm more so on the side of don't blame the artist for everything.
So
you know,
the slight negation I give you on that, Aaron, is most of the time with music, and as we can see, like with the cases now of lyrics being used against rappers and court trials and all that kind of stuff, is they're speaking about their experience or like hypothetical stories, but it's not a call to action. So they're not telling people to do stuff. They're speaking about things that they did. And I know that seems like a pretty vague gray line.
I think technically I see what you're saying, but I guess I just have a hard time believing it doesn't slip over to the other. You know,
sure. And I'm sure there are cases. You know? I'm sure there are cases where it doesn't. That's what I'm saying. And so it's different from being like, oh yeah, back on 47th, me and Boop did this, and then, you know, he got shot and I had to retaliate. That's different than going, next time you see the motherfucker in green, light up the block.
Yeah, I feel that.
I think
no, go ahead. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry, man. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, mostly the violence in music is not directed towards. It seemed like it's directed towards his own community.
Yeah,
it's like they're not saying like, "Hey, let's take over some like tyranny type stuff. They actually talking about somebody the next block over or across town. And I'm ready to like every day I see a new thing about like a rapper killing, like a murderous rapper, and it's crazy. Like they trying to kill their own mama. Like I'm like I'm done with that, man. I'm done with hearing.
Yeah, me too, man. Like I'm not even trying to like blame the artist per se. I'm just saying I find a correlation with that. It's like we gotta like decide which one is. What are we really, as a society, like what are we actually arguing here? Because we let certain shit slide. I feel like we let certain shit slide, and then we let other stuff. Like it depends on how riled up we are, I guess, or how much we rally around a particular cause. It's like lessers of two evils, I guess. You know, some shit just seems like I just feel like what are we really arguing here? Are we consistent, or are we not, or is it always depend on something?
I think that depend on thing. That's where the nuance comes in, because it's also fair. A thing. It's also the thing of like, I heard Andrew Schultz and some other people bring this up because they had Alex Jones on Flagrant, and they said he would not have caught anywhere near as much flack if he had did the program as a comedy. He could have said all the things and he wouldn't have been taken seriously, but because he said all of these things as if they were fact, he has to be held accountable to them being fact. To them being spoken as fact, rather.
I feel that some part of me doesn't like that you could say the same shit and then still influence people. But because it's said as a joke, then it's okay, because there's a certain like there's an art. You know what I'm saying? And
there's actually law in that. Because I mean, ironically, not ironically, but coincidentally, I was actually watching Hassan Minaj's comedy special last night, and he mentioned the fact that when he was doing Patriot Act, there were folks getting mad, and his lawyer was like, "You're fine, because as long as I'm gonna mess it up, but essentially, as long as, well, he was saying the law assumes that the average person is reasonable." So, it's like, as long as reasonable people know that you're joking and know that there's this whole thing about context and taking things out of context, whereas like you're actually protected as a comedian, as long as it's obvious you're making a joke, and it's like, okay, we know as adults, we know that this guy is making a joke or he's not making a joke. So I thought that was really, really interesting.
It is, man. I just like, so I guess you can offer your opinion in a passionate, strong way, but that is something that you believe in your experience. And it's okay to me that it's your experience and you believe it. To me, I know that what I believe is just something that I believe. I know that it's not fact, no matter how much I fucking argue it to y'all. I know that my opinion really don't mean that much, even though I talk like it does. You know what I'm saying?
That's the difference. He was saying it was a fact. He was saying it was a fact. He had the photos and the screenshots and the whole. So
I guess where does the reasonable
the red strings? You know how they do in the movies.
So I guess where does like the reasonable fan? Like where does the reasonable fan come in? Like where does that part play in then? Like the reasonable audience, like the reason. What do you say? Like the regular average person is a reasonable thinker or logic. Like where does that part come in then?
Well, that's the thing. He's not a comedian, so he wasn't trying to make anyone laugh. So that goes out of the window now. Now it's like, no, you're inciting.
The reasonable audience doesn't matter anymore.
That's what I don't like right there. That's what I don't like. That it's dependent on motherfuckers should be able to, like, I don't know, man. I still feel like think for yourself.
You can't rile people up that to the point where people are showing up to people's houses. Like,
of course, I agree. I'm saying, what I'm saying is. It's a lot of it is on the idiot who believed it and got riled up to jump on somebody's lawn. Well, that's not all on. That's not. Yeah, I want got
to do their time too. But I
want half the weight to be on that person.
And being the ringleader, though, he's got to. That's like when FBI try to take down cartels. They don't care about the dude on the street. They're trying to get the El Chapos, the whatever. They're not. If they get them too, great. But they're really trying to get. And Alex Jones was the El Chapo here. So it's like, we got to get this guy because he's causing all these street guys, quote crazy dudes that showing up to people's houses.
Yeah. Well, I think I was just gonna say that the something that made him like very dangerous is the fact that like his whole campaign was InfoWars, and he was saying like, okay, I give y'all the facts, but I think as his program went along, like he really saw that he was entertaining people, and it's like, okay, now you doing these hours and hour long podcasts or newscasts a day, and you probably running out of material. Like some of
running
your
out of facts.
Really, yeah. Honestly, like you saying all this stuff, now you just making stuff up because they got you fired up. You see your audience, like egging you on.
Show us the receipts, bro. Show us the receipts. Yeah. He's
like damn, you making all these jokes. He had jokes, and he just kept going. It's like people will follow like your charisma. Like
I guess I don't know. I guess it's good if you're the one who needs to fucking get a following quick. You know what I'm saying? You can influence people, but I just don't like how easily folks can get riled up, and then it's like, well, you're
nature.
Because I can say some
humans yearn for someone to follow.
I can say some shit is fact, and I know it's and I'm expecting reasonable people to know this shit is my version of a fact. It's my version of the truth. It doesn't mean it's the truth.
If you say a bunch of facts and then put a lie in between, it's like a sandwich. Okay, you said a bunch of stuff.
It's a double stuff.
Yeah, it really is. You made a sandwich with the bread being a bunch of facts.
That you made bread, that quality shit.
He made a delicious sandwich, and then right in the middle of like some, pepper jack cheese, and then there was some salami, turkey, and then he just had a nice little spread of shit. And then he added the rest of like, some spinach, some bean sprout, what like some chipotle mayo, but there's still a layer of shit in there.
Yeah.
Even though there may be a delicious sandwich surrounding it.
I see what y'all saying. Like, I see what y'all saying, and it's reasonable, but like I'm also like, I guess I've just never sat well with it completely.
Okay, I'm gonna get. I'm taking it to the extreme here, but just hear me out. Who is responsible for the Holocaust? Like, who do people generally point
Adolf. To? Yeah,
it's the same thing. Like, and I'm not saying Alex Jones is the equivalent. I'm not comparing the two.
Yeah,
all I'm saying is he was the ringleader in all of his madness. So therefore, he has to pay the, that's all. Like when football teams lose, who's the first person they blame? The quarterback. When football teams win, who's the first person they give credit to? The quarterback. It's like, this is somebody's got to take the blame for this.
I agree. I remember being in like middle school saying I had a problem with the whole Adolf Hitler thing. I remember being in middle school being like, I feel like his situation was slightly different because
like,
look. I'm not about to get us fired, bro. I'm not about to get us fired. For real.
Where this going?
I'm just saying, your contract is good, Josh. Your contract is intact. Don't worry. It's me getting docked. It's me getting docked, not you. I guess. Like you said, I mean, it's hard to speak on this because, like you said, that's such a radical. It's on such a larger scale.
Yeah.
But I guess fucking Alex Jones and Adolf both did technically. You could say they use fear to influence people. That happens a lot, and fear is a big motivator. Like it's not like somebody he wasn't encouraging Well, somebody did run up on their lawn, but like he didn't have people lining somebody up and putting guns to your head like Adolf literally did, saying, if you don't believe in me, or if anyone dares speak a word against me, you are threatened with sudden death. And that's like, it's imminent.
But
in
because we're talking about 2012, right? This is the end of this is the beginning of the second Obama term, right?
Okay.
You're talking about YouTube is at a height. When you have that kind of following, no one's going to be looking to be. No one's looking for a reasonable thing. No one's reasonable. What's the word I'm looking for? Discretion. No one's looking to verify the things that you're saying. They're going, 10 million people have engaged in this, so there must be credibility to it. I don't need to put a gun to your head. People will run to the flock.
Yeah,
I agree. I do think that's a problem. I'm just saying, so they're clearly freedom of speech is only so much. Then essentially, that's what we're saying. It's only so much.
I'll say this.
So expressing your experience is only to a certain degree. Because Alex Jones really believes himself. He really believes that shit, probably.
That doesn't mean it's his experience.
But
though.
when you become a danger, then that's when it's like, okay, we got to figure this out now. Because that's why people be getting their Instagram and Twitter accounts deleted. And I don't necessarily agree with people getting their Instagram accounts deleted. But if you're just breaking the rules, like hate speech or whatever, whatever the rules are, you can't do it. Like, so freedom of speech. This freedom of speech means you can say what you want and not go to prison. It doesn't mean you can say what you want and not face consequences. And that's what people get confused.
That's a big thing that people. We say, of course, but people bring that argument up all the time when they wonder why somebody punched them in the mouth.
I know what I'm saying. I know I'm risking going out on these Atlanta streets. You know what I'm saying? I know that. That's not lost on me.
I'm not saying you in particular. I'm saying that particular argument.
Yeah.
Like as far as the arguments y'all was having, or the like the versus conversation, like one, like
this is a versus. This is the versus podcast versus
Adolf versus Alex.
Oh man,
but
that's
we were
great.
basically. I think what y'all was basically saying is like, on one side we gotta hold like the ringleader accountable, and then on the other side we gotta hold, because I remember thinking like about the Holocaust, like they had all of these people, like how did they get all of these people to do their will?
That's what I'm saying, bro. What the fuck?
I know that's what you were saying, but the thing is just like what we is like in North Korea is happening right now. Like they worshiping their leader and they don't know him. They think he's really a deity. So it's like, these people are being mind controlled at the masses, sure. And
fear though, and for them it's fear too.
Well, that's where a lot of other things come in, like religion.
Yeah, because they're being threatened by death,
things like that.
And like, they're being threatened by death in a similar way that Adolf was. You couldn't, if you speak out against it in any way, sudden death is imminent.
My point ultimately is that they are victims. In reality, they are victims, even though you may look at them like, dang, they kind of crazy to be mind controlled in that way. But
I agree with you.
It's like that because of that sandwich. They gave them a lot of things that looked like they was good, but in the end, like
So I guess what I'm saying is, I agree with y'all. I guess what I'm saying is, we need to figure out what does reasonable discretion really mean. It's not just one general term that we could use for everybody.
I think it comes down to prove it.
Yeah, I think we can start with as far as the freedom of speech thing goes, like, and like, is it? I don't know. We could. I'm trying to say like 30 things at the same time. We can start with, like, you can't just lie. Like I said, this guy had like screenshots and fake, news clippings of like, of this stuff, like the actors, like saying these people were in different mass shooting, they're in this shooting and that shooting. Like, we can start. So like, if you're just expressing your feeling, like if he got on like live and like, you know what, I don't believe this happened because XYZ, I mean, Adam still think he would be wrong for that, but I mean, I think it would be less damning than him trying to really like sell that it actually happened, like he did and it wasn't like he went and did one show and that was the end of it. It was a continuous, just hammering the point, And this isn't the first thing either. He did the whole Pizzagate scandal too, So it's not like a first offense. It's the biggest offense, but it's not his only.
Only offense, right?
I should say also, while I seem like I'm in the opposition, I agree with them. I think it was crazy. I don't believe him, and all like he was wrong. I'm speaking more towards, I've never liked that, like it all seems to fall on, like mainly on that person just because they really believed what they were doing was right and true. It's obviously wrong. I obviously disagree with it, but we got to take some of these. Well, I guess we have to. So I guess it's more. My emphasis is more on figuring out. I don't know. You can't make people to be less victims if they can be easily influenced and shit. There is no. I don't know what the solution is. I
think it's important to note that like he cornered a market that was exposed at a time where our country was at a new height of this distrust of the government.
Yeah, he was exploiting that for sure. And he has a show and he sees the ratings coming in. He's obviously going to take advantage for sure.
He got to play it up like this is a time nobody else is filling this slot. I'm feeding them something that just never been seen before. Like people don't trust the government. And he's taking advantage of that.
And the fact that Obama was president at the time is like,
right.
So they really thought the sky was falling. Like we got a Negro in the White House, so I like that 08 through 2012, or was it 04?
It was
08 through 16.
Yeah, 08 through 16. So
this is the top of his second term.
Yep. So so that period was crazy. That's when guns were flying off the shelf because they kept thinking he was gonna take the guns. Like he's not taking your not one gun was taken. But gun companies made a lot of money though. Out of fear, like you were saying, fear. Their fear.
They were exploiting that shit like crazy. Yeah, they saw a business opportunity,
and they were jacking up the prices. And people were buying them. So
so I don't have a fucking solution, man. I think his ass should definitely be punished, and it's good. A billion dollars is not gonna bring those children back, unfortunately, and he obviously doesn't have it. So who knows if they'll make 75,000 of it or not? But each,
the families run the show now.
That shit is fucked. I just need one thing to happen. I need the motherfuckers running up on people's lawns with guns to be handled. I just need that to be handled. I need to be taken care of. That's all.
Optimistically, we hope that always does.
And we don't know that they weren't arrested too, by the way. Right. So I'm sure somebody got arrested out of that, out of the craziness.
Or shot.
Yeah. But all right.
We're
gonna wrap it up there.
Put him in that kill shot. No Marshall. Like, all right, I'm done, man. I'm done. I gotta exploit. I have to exploit this industry so we can go viral, man. All right.
Do your thing. I hope it works.
I told you your contract is not. You're good.
Oh, I got equity. I ain't worried about my contract.
You're good. Yeah. Oh, Josh got long money, huh? Josh got old money. My bad. Independently wealthy, huh?
Shit.
Josh been playing the S&P 500 for how many years?
No. I made this LLC and didn't tell y'all. But no.
It's only limited liability. You should have chose escort, but
I was like, actually, I made escort. All right, we're gonna wrap it up there, y'all. We thank you for tuning in to another episode of the InforMILLy podcast. Fellas, any last thoughts?
Man, no.
Careful what you wish for. Careful what you wish for.
All right, with that, every connection that you make and every loved one that you ever encounter, or a semi-loved one, and just in case you like, I tolerate you. Everybody ain't friends, everybody ain't family. Some people acquaintances, and you gotta live with that. But everyone that you encounter and engage with, we encourage, empower, and implore you to always be forthright, vulnerable, and most of all, let the graphic show it. Honest.
Yes.
Appreciate y'all. Love you. Peace.
Peace out.
Peace, world.
Can't look in the eyes
Peace.
Out.
without shedding a tear for my brother. I really wanna try for my brother, 'cause I truly do feel for my brother.